Ryan is joining us. Ryan is a founder of Umbrella Property Services. So it's an exterior cleaning company based here in Vancouver. He is an let's say old-time member. Can I call you an old-time member? A longtime friend here of
I
BTA.
prefer OG.
Okay, let's call him the old
Yeah.
OG. I brought Ryan on because Ryan really was one of the early adopters in using virtual assistants in his business, and he'll probably tell you the time frame of when that went back. But Ryan really has built out a very good process on how to hire virtual assistants, vet them, as well as a little bit of like onboarding. I know a lot of my members have used Ryan's process with a lot of success, and a lot of members across BTA with a lot of success. Um, with when we talk about the tech and the talent gap that is coming upon us, right? Virtual assistants have become more and more a better option on those. When we talk about like that admin, chasing invoices, helping you guys stay organized, there's a ton of things that a virtual assistant can help you guys do become more efficient, right? So I really truly believe as we look into the future, this will become a bigger and bigger part of your businesses. So I wanted to, bring Ryan in, talk to you. He's going to talk to you a little about his experiences, his process on VA, and then you guys get the opportunity to just fire all your questions that you have. If you're using VAs at the end in the open queue, I'd love to hear your experience of how they're helping your business. Just so we can support others in this room who might be kind of early adopters on this. So Ryan, I will pass it over to you, my friend, and you've got the ability to share screen now.
Okay.
Can everybody hear me?
We got you,
Thumbs
bud.
up. Awesome. I'm going to share my screen with y'all. I had to do a little bit of practice this morning with my team to make sure that it was nice and on point. So, my name is Ryan Lermitte, and yes, I'm an OG. I've been around for a while. It's been a lot of fun with BTA, and so it's been since 2017, roughly speaking, that I've been part of the organization, and I just am really grateful for this opportunity. So I'm going to be speaking to you guys about Beyond Virtual, building high impact remote teams. Everybody ready for this? I got energy, and I'm going to give it to you. All right. So first off, who's had a shitty day in the last week? Two. Yeah, I did. I had a really shitty day yesterday, and I was just frustrated. And I went for a run last night, and I was working through the presentation, and I thought to myself, how can I bring some just better energy into it and also be real with everybody? So one thing we do at Umbrella every single morning, and I do this as a life practice, is I do a gratitude journal. It's just a piece of paper, and I write it every morning. So I am really good at awkward silence. I'm really good at being stubborn. So I'm gonna get three feeling gratefuls. What are you guys grateful for this morning?
All right, Ryan, I'm going to kick it off here,
Sunshine.
man. It's a little too much silence.
Thank you.
I am very grateful for a beautiful, incredible little sun, and there could not be a better way to start a day.
Nice, Luca. It's good.
I can do one. Super, super grateful for my health. There's a
Mm,
mom in a community that's not doing well, and everyone's rallying around her. And every morning I wake up and say, I can take care of my kids today. I can help with the business today. I'm healthy enough to get up and go and exercise. So I'm super grateful for my health at the moment.
awesome, Devin. That's really good.
I'll go. I can go as well. I'm grateful for my team, family, everyone that's kind of in the circle. I mean, entrepreneurship, you can feel a little lonely at times. So really realizing who you have in your corner and being grateful for who's there.
Nice, Chase. Good. Great. Thank you,
I'm
guys. Oh yeah, come on, bring it. I'll take more than three.
I got a couple brothers. Like number one, I'm grateful for you bringing this up because I do the same thing every day and it's life changing. But I'd
Mhm.
say I'm grateful for my challenges. Um,
Hmm.
that's where I learn. That's where I grow. And as soon as I start seeing them as something to be grateful for, that's my path forward. Whatever's stopping you is the way that you got to go.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good. Good word of wisdom. Thank you so much. What's your name? Sam. Sam. Thanks, Sam. So, who is Umbrella? Umbrella, our vision is to be a recognized leader in the essential property services industry in Metro Vancouver, known for being carbon neutral and a top 100 employer. Our mission is to attract and develop and empower people from around the world to be leaders, providing exceptional exterior cleaning and Christmas light services. Who we are, many languages, one voice, adventurous, hardworking, compensated well, healthy, fit, active, living intentionally. That's our logo for our values. Our values are we're all stars. So simplicity, sustainability, teamwork, adventure, results. I encourage you reconsider your values on a regular basis. Our adventure value used to be accountability. I recently, this year in January, did a painted picture, and I was like, man, everything about Umbrella, everyone talks about adventure all the time. Why accountability? Let's move that up. So we mixed it up. So that is Umbrella. Today's mission and why this conversation it matters now. Work from home. I can see a bunch of you are working from home right now. And we've already talked about ChatGPT a number of times today. I use it every day. I use the advanced voice feature actually almost for like, yeah, a lot. And it's an incredible, incredible tool. Even this deck today, I used AI, ChatGPT, to help me build the structure, flesh it out, and I literally just talk to it. I use it like a teammate. So if you think, oh man, I don't know how to get started with it, honestly, just download any of them. It doesn't have to be ChatGPT, and just play around, learn to prompt, learn the language, because the AI that we're using today is a teammate. It's a tool and a teammate. So this stuff all matters because as we continue to grow our businesses, what are we trying to do? We're trying to be more efficient. We're trying to be better customers. Like the customer matters, right? So how can we produce an incredible experience for our customers to keep them coming back and be raving fans for our businesses? The shift in perspective for me was around 2020, COVID. I know, it's like, what happened before that? 2020, COVID, I had an office, a physical office space, and it got shut down. Everybody who was in the office needed to go home. They had to work at home. And I started running numbers and I was like, whew, like I'm spending a lot. I still went to the office because I just like to be in the office. Started running the numbers. I'm paying a lot for rent, and my team members are in Vancouver. They are being paid a lot of money. How can I work this into my situation? Can I take the math of my rent and add more team members to my roster, or just even save the money? A couple of my friends, they had an office space nearby. They had been asking me for a long time, hey, come on, join us. So finally I said, all right, landlord, I'm leaving. And it was at that point where I went to this other office and it was a shared office space and there's people coming and going. And I started thinking to myself, how can I build up our team? And does it have to be in Vancouver? No, it doesn't. My team at that point from an administrative side was an Australian, a Mexican, and Italian. They all lived in Vancouver, but they all grew up elsewhere. So my mind started playing more and more. Then I learned about people using remote workers from everywhere, right? And I want to, before we go into like this slide is really important. Remote workers aren't virtual assistants, they're remote team members, right? I want you to kind of kick that vocabulary out of your vocabulary, that word out of your vocabulary. They're just team members who happen to be elsewhere. So at this moment, we have team members in Mexico, Ecuador, and the Philippines. And I actually was on a call the other day with GoDaddy, and I was talking to the sales support there, and he sounds Spanish, so I was like, "Hey, where are you from?" Because I love talking. And he said, "Oh, I'm in Peru." And I said, "Oh, nice. I'm going to be in Peru in March 2026. I'll be in Lima. Where are you?" Anyways, here he is. He's in Lima, Peru, and he works for GoDaddy, and there's their call center, right? So just like everybody is using remote team members to some capacity. So I want you to just lean into that a bit here. These are people. That picture is Arlene, she is our finance admin. Smart spending, how remote hiring it works. It saves you money. So this is an hourly CSR rate, roughly speaking, with burdens and everything included for the different places that we have. So in Vancouver, and I want to talk about something quickly here with it, which is I only want A players on our team. You can get a cheaper CSR in Vancouver, but I want someone who wows our customers on a daily basis. So in Vancouver, I'm easily spending $30 an hour with burdens for this individual. More so because probably, realistically, I'm going to be spending more because of technology and other things like that. In Ecuador, that number is about 17. In the Philippines, it's about 11. Now, the disadvantage of the Philippines is the time zones, which I will get into at a later point here, but this really can make it a lot more effective cost for you in your building out your office team. There's just really good talent. So consider hiring beyond your local bubble. And I know we all want to hire local as much as we can, but if anybody's using ChatGPT at this point, ChatGPT is not local, right? How much are you doing that? And it's only going to get expedited, right? So our team at this point, basically any function that can be done on a computer, I say to ourselves, can this be done anywhere? Yes. Okay, so then where could it be? We got the whole globe to ourselves here, baby. They do operations, they do marketing, scheduling, sales, finance, like literally every job function in the company now can be done remotely, except the trades on the hand, right? We're in trades, so you're gonna have people on the ground. You're gonna have folks that you have to inevitably have here. Okay, so that is how it is. Production managers local, field staff local. Consider the wider talent pool that you have at your disposal worldwide. Culture is everything. So we're all on a Zoom call right now. We do Zoom calls every single morning. It's 15 minutes. It's an opportunity for us to connect. It's a connection of values every morning. We talk about our values and how we're living them out. Okay. This is me leading a meeting on Halloween. I was dressed up as a dinosaur, and I have a lot of fun running my meetings. I genuinely enjoy it. And so that's a lot of fun, and you always get some smiles. And hey, there's some pretty boring, like some days I want to get very loud when I get off my call because I'm like, that was so boring. But hey, it is just what it is. And then this picture right here, that's actually two of our CSRs, office managers, sorry, in CSR, one that's in Mexico, one's in Ecuador. This year, I had an opportunity. A friend of mine had overbought for his company summit a bunch of hotel rooms in Cancun. So I flew them together to meet for the first time in person, which was, from a culture perspective, incredible. Like it was so cool to be able to give that opportunity to Armida and Denise. And they lived out their values. They played, they had adventure in an awesome place. How do we hire? So, job ads. We've talked about it. I'm sure you've seen it. Headlines, the first line is so, so, so critical. So don't write CSR. Don't write technician. Don't write landscaper. Appeal to your audience. Make it a you and them question conversation to somewhat, right? So, do you love talking to people? CSR is needed. I don't want a CSR that doesn't love talking to people. Would you want a salesperson that likes sitting in their office and never getting outside? Probably not the hunter you want, right? So we do that on 2 job forms. We use Online Jobs PH and we use Upwork. Okay, everybody familiar with those 2 sites? Thumbs up? No? Yeah, okay. They're really easy platforms to use, and I highly encourage you checking them out. At the very end, I'll give you guys an opportunity to email me, and then from there you can get this presentation as well as all of the different assets that we've built up. Okay. Next up is the application funnel. How many of you have posted an ad on Craigslist or Indeed and get just the generic like reply to your email inbox? Yeah, right? Do you know what we do at Umbrella? Trash. We don't even look at it because they're doing the lowest possible thing that they could do. They haven't given you anything. They're just mass hiring. They're a waste of your time, frankly. So we use a job application form. We use Typeform. You guys have all experienced Typeform at some point in your BTA journey. I started using Typeform because I always was so, I just kind of like loved what BTA's forms looked like. And so I reached out to Jane. I said, hey, Jane is the operations superstar at BTA. What do I do here? Set me up. So then we started using it that way because initially we were using Google Forms. Guys, just start. Use Google Forms, whatever. Just make it easy. 25 questions. You use deal breaker questions. Those are really, really important. Whatever the role is, you want to make sure that ask ChatGPT. What are the deal breaker questions I should ask for this role? For us remotely, it's a workstation with 2 monitors, a microphone, a computer, a keyboard, and a mouse, right? And then an internet speed of XYZ. If they answer incorrectly to those, you off-ramp them off the application. So you're no longer wasting time with them. And then you end the application with a really simple code word that, again, that code word shows that they've actually paid attention in the job description or the job ad, and they got to the end and they answered correctly. If they don't answer correctly, sorry, goodbye. It's ruthless. This is filter fast hiring, okay? Recruiting. After they complete the oh, sorry, I got my slides mixed up. It's okay. We'll hop. After they complete the application goes into, you know what? Let's just, no. Yeah, we're going to do it quickly. Sorry, guys. After they go to the application and they fill it out and they've got it all done, it goes directly into a spreadsheet. That spreadsheet is a database, a mine. It's a gold mine for you, right? The people that don't make it, just put them aside. But those that do, when you're hiring next, you can come back to this gold mine, right? And mine it. So these are just like the first 4 questions of our application. As I mentioned, there's probably about 25 on average questions that we ask. I know you're thinking, wow, that's a lot. You're right. The whole point is to filter people out that aren't going to fit your values and that aren't smart people that are going to problem solve for you. So it's easy to manage the spreadsheet. And when you get to a ninja level like myself, you have an automations contractor who makes it all automated for you and clicks, and I can automate, like I click a button or a team member can click a button and it automatically emails the candidate the next step. Okay. So it's really quite awesome. Then we use Video Ask. So video is super important for first impressions. We want to see the personality. I didn't put anybody's picture. I put mine because privacy and all that stuff, I guess. I don't know. You guys like my smile. So I have a 30-second video that is sent in video ask to the candidate, right? It's emailed to them. They watch me do this little video, and they have to answer 3 questions in under 2 minutes. It's easy, right? You would not believe how many people cannot get their clarity of mind together to answer 3 questions in 2 minutes. If they go over 2 minutes, they're off the team. I know, filter fast, like get them out of the way, okay? If you say, oh, well, it was a good answer. Yeah, maybe, but it took 4 minutes. So 6 months from now, are they following the directions that you've posted in your company? Probably not. They need to answer, sorry, they need to be able to take direction. After that, they do a 2-minute video and they pass that. Next up is the workstation, tech checks, and photo intros. So we send them another email. Please provide your 3-minute typing test, a photo of your workstation, and a Loom video showing your speed test. Very simple, very easy for them to administer. If they don't hit those marks, off ramp. And then we get into the email exchanges, which is approximately 7 emails, 6 emails, depending on the role, okay? And they're meant to be quick. You have to answer them quick. You're looking for them to answer quickly. We're trying to get a sense of their tone and their fit. We ask them about time zones. So if they're in the Philippines, have you worked PST standard time before? Ask them their disk, and we give a little video so it gives them context, it helps them. We ask them how they do scheduling and prioritization. As an office team member, that's really important, okay? And then there's a couple others that go, I won't get into them, but it really helps. And the key there is fast, right? You want to be on it. You want an engaged, BTA talks about this in their hiring. You want an engaged individual. Keep them engaged. Then we do a small test, okay? Whatever the test is, whatever, CSR, handle angry caller, assistant, find a present for my top client, marketer, make a post for Instagram, whatever it is. This one is a recent one. I asked an assistant, I was hiring for an assistant, present me 131 on buying a backpack. The responses are all over the place, and you really see how people work, right? So there's that. After that, we finally get to the conversion call. The conversion call is a one-on-one for energy and vibe. So we preface that call with them to give them a high level of what the role is going to be, what it's about. We have links in an email, and we make it super clear when you are booking this conversion call, you need to come prepared. So the first question after I build rapport in the call is, do you have any questions for me? And if they have like no questions, or they really haven't thought through things, that's a red flag to me. That's a genuine like, huh. Like I had a conversion call a couple weeks ago, and the person asked, part of her questioning was, how much is the pay? And I was like, that's in the job ad. Do you think I hired her? No. Filter fast. I know I sound like a bit of an asshole. I'm kind of harsh, but we're doing this trying to be effective and get the ball moving as quickly as we can with the top candidates. And then I asked 3 questions, and the 3 questions are designed to really dig into who they are and what their goals are for the future. Okay? And that's it. And it takes about 22 to 25 minutes depending on the candidate and how the conversation is flowing. From there, we offer a trial day. So the trial day is real work, real stakes, real insight. This is a CSR one that we did recently. I just put in a few of the items there for you guys to see, but approximately 10 mock simulated tasks that they must complete in 7 hours, and they get paid a set rate. So you're not saying it's an hourly rate or any of that stuff. It's just, hey, you're going to work 7 hours for us. We're going to pay you this dollar amount, and you're going to do a simulation, bunch of simulated tasks. And the idea there is the beers and brews test that BTA talks about. I'm sure you've heard other people talk about. This is an opportunity for you to get to know them well, right? As much as you can in one day, and know what they can do, right? Like, you need to understand how they operate, how they work. Are they engaged? Do they, like we use Slack. Uh, have they adjusted their profile picture? I mean, it sounds kind of silly and basic, but like we've had a trial. If you have 3 trials on the same day, which we can do, and one of the people don't update their profile on Slack, that's a red flag for us. Okay, after that, it's offer and offboard. Sorry, offer and onboard. Bringing them in the right way. So, offer after the trial, everything looks good. Offer them in an offer call. We do an offer call. You go through everything related to the job, going through the pay, the compensation, benefits, all that fun stuff, right? Because there's benefits to working for you. Whether you think about it that way or not, there's definitely benefits of working for you. And you just get clarity there, right? After that, onboarding, however you do your onboarding, make it as energetic and as fun and clear as possible. We use Slack, so we create a channel called Welcome Their Name, right? And then we've got a series of the things that they need to do from a training perspective and getting to know the team and all that fun stuff. So, big takeaways. This process has built our team, and it's really been a fun journey. I've been doing it like one of the earlier slides was Denise. 2022, she started with us in April, and the growth that I've seen in her has been tremendous. And she lives in Quito, Ecuador. She's our main CSR lead. She manages so much for the team. Every year we have a umbrellas for those that are fans of The Office, you know, the Dundies. We have the umbrellas, right? I've shipped 2 awards to her that the team has voted her as the specialist award, just the best, right? Like she just like MVP of the year, 2 years in a row, and she's in Quito. So it's given us a real opportunity to be competitive in a competitive marketplace, save some extra money, and be able to invest back in the team that we've built today. Lastly, you can stay in touch with me on the right side because you love this conversation and this pitch presentation so much. You can actually review Umbrella just by taking your phone and going and saying 5-star review. And then on the left is my my contact. So you can email me and I can give you, my assistant will send you all of the information that we talked about today, our process, this deck, and anything else. So
Thanks, Ryan.
You're welcome.
I'll put everything together for everyone. So I'll reach out to you, Ryan, and I'll get the process. And I think what's important here, and it actually ties into our conversation last time with Paul from Contractor Staffing Sources, is the intentionality behind it, right? Paul has his process. Ryan, there's a lot of similarities in what Ryan's process is too, right? So hiring someone virtually is no different than somebody that you would do. You want to take the same steps, and there was a lot of the same steps in here just to ensure the success of what we're doing. So I really appreciate you sharing that, Ryan. And I think within there's some of the companies that you're using to help you find the assistance as well. So I'll include that in the link too. But why don't I just open it up? Is there any questions? Maybe just we'll start with in terms of the process that Ryan's using. If you guys are that you may have about his process and his steps.
I do have one question. When you received the application, you said there is one button you click
Mhm.
to send them the next step. What button is that? Where is that? How do you do that?
That's when you become a ninja. So I have an automation specialist on our team, and he built it out. So we have a big spreadsheet, and there's on one of the columns, you click on send video, and then it a script. There's a Google script in the background that runs automation, and then you just press confirm, and I can
Okay.
send. So our team can send, especially with CSR, like our remote team members, we can get a lot of pretty solid candidates quickly. Um, so we can send like 10 responses to those emails at the same time. Now we've learned along the way, right? Like when we first started doing it, where we sent as many as 10 or 20 at a time, the the email filters got us. And so it started going all to spam, and we were like, man, we're not getting a lot of responses
Oh
to
yeah.
our
Yeah. Yeah, I
requests.
can
So
see that.
now we had to build a secondary layer of automation to queue
Okay.
those emails and then send them every 6 seconds.
Okay. Okay. We use Google Forms that you can set it up to where it goes to straight to the sheets, and then it creates that spreadsheet for you. And then
Yep, and
but
that's how
then
we
from
started.
okay.
Absolutely a great way for you to start out. I Action is action. Just get something going. Google Forms is a great tool. If you're already in the Google Workspace, it's really easy to use.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Hey, Ryan, I have a question for you. How, like structurally, how do you work it with a CSR that's not in the not in the building? And I say this as a guy that we've had a structure for 48 years where the people taking our calls have sat next to the people dispatching the calls who are personally interacting with the guys going out to the calls. So your CSR who's in another country and time zone, are the calls literally coming into them and they're dispatching through like a Service Titan or some other program, or how do you functionally do this?
Yeah, so you have to work some creativity into things. I would highly recommend if you start wanting to go the route of, I mean, you should do this anyways, but reach out to Cyber Unit, which is BTA's cyber security group, right? And they'll set you up on how to make sure that you're structurally sound from a security perspective. And then everything's online now. So, as in, like, I can do Ring Central, so VoIP phone, right? Anywhere in the world, anybody can be answering our phone calls. Zoom, same thing. Google Meet, same thing. Whatever training module that you think you need is out there and it's online. So we use Trainual with a bit of Slack. So we have a channel that's called, Office Hot Tips, and it's just everything that you've ever wanted right there that you can learn from. And then one-on-ones and coaching calls. And even today, I was doing the morning meeting that I mentioned, and the couple of slides that were in there ready for me in the morning, they had way too many words. Like I was just, no one's gonna read that. Nobody wants that, right? So I said, hey, like I just deleted them, and then sorry, what I did next was I then took we have a channel for like the office, and I just put into our daily agenda notes like, hey, you guys need to please review the importance of slide decks, the words, and here's a YouTube video on how to do it. And they'll watch that video for a training together today at 1 o'clock. Does that answer your question? So I think that it's important. Like you can use video tools, screen sharing,
Yeah,
anything
I
you
think
can do from a training, like the shoulder to shoulder, if you will, right?
yeah, yeah.
Can be done remotely. Yeah, maybe it's not as effective. Maybe there's
Mhm.
like I think there is some real gold in like just being next to somebody and hearing someone who's more who's more advanced than you from like sales calls or anything, because you just hear how they interact, right?
Hmm.
But man, I record everything with Loom, so I have a whole database on how I interview, how I make phone calls, literally everything. You name it, Bill, I've got it for myself. And then I've just been trying to teach and coach our team on how we can effectively use video as a tool for training.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then in Ring Central, we record everything. So then we can go back and we can train on that as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I think you're just tying together a whole lot of tools that can make it as remote as you want it to be, and it's so drastically different than what I'm used to. So I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
So, and there's I think elements of it that would work for me, and some that I'd have to figure out ways. So, okay.
Chase, come on in.
Thanks.
Yeah, I just have a quick question just about, I guess you're going to be vetting them either way, but just like a language barrier issue. Whether you had any kind of pushback from that, because talked to someone about it and he was telling me about it. Oh, this is the best thing ever. And then I went and checked out and called, and like the English language barrier is like super bad. Read some reviews on Google and like got some real bad pushback. So I mean, you're going to be vetting them, I guess, would be the main answer. But like, have you really had any pushback from a language barrier perspective?
I've had friends push back a lot on me, saying it's not possible. One of my good buddies, he told me for years as he watched me develop the system, saying he wouldn't be able to do it because he lives in a small town in California and everybody speaks English there or Spanish. But like it was pretty much no one will ever, my company will dissolve if I have someone with a Filipino accent. And he got to the breaking point where he couldn't hire locally CSRs. Like he just couldn't. He had job ads. And he was spending far too much money on Indeed. And I sent him a couple candidates. He then did a video call. That was 2 years ago. He's had the same CSR running his office, and she crushes. Like she's doing really good.
Nice. Yeah,
So
we have like a remote team that answers the phone for us, is based locally out of Vancouver, but even they have a little bit more of a fob, people working in their offices as well. And I've had some pretty bad pushback on it, but like I mean, at the end of the day, if you have like a answering system, like I use CallRail, so we got CallRail going, then at the end of the day, you're still able to monitor how the phone calls are going and then work on it with them too, I guess, realistically. The
yeah,
other question I had was just with, I guess this is just calling, but more so like if you have them handling any financials, just making sure that the security's safe. That's like the biggest
mhm.
concern, that if I was to get a VA, then cybersecurity and like making any payments through the bank or accepting payments through a, say, a job or whatever it might be. Like, what do you do at
Yeah.
that point?
So all that's just a logistical problem that needs to be solved. So I think that you wouldn't just throw somebody who's new to the team directly into your QuickBooks, right? Or into your banking. But over time, you establish trust. Anybody can steal from you. If you think otherwise, you're kidding yourself, right? Like someone can locally do the exact same thing that someone can do remotely. Um, and so Arlene, she has a delegate access to our bank, and she has access to certain things that she can do. So when it comes to AP, she creates all the transactions and then I approve them. So it just reduces some of that hand holding, right? Um, if you're using Jobber, we use Jobber. You just ask people to fill out their credit card information through the Jobber platform, right? So that's easy. I just encourage, whatever limitation you feel is there, think about how you could work around it. Ask ChatGPT, how can you work around that, right? We use 1Password for password management, very easy to administer to the team, and then that keeps everything secure. And I had a team member last year that we had to terminate. He was local. We can offboard, like we had to terminate without cause uh, in 15 minutes. I mean, it took less time technically because it was just like, boom, remove access to 1Password, boom, remove access to Google Workspace. And then there was some other stuff, but yeah.
Hey, Brian. Just on the accent
Hmm.
issue concern, we had Corey Brewer on the landscaping group a couple weeks ago. He
Yeah,
said
Corey
there
and I
was
have taught a lot.
yeah, he said there's an AI app for that. I think it's called Crisp. Are you familiar with that? Have you heard of that?
You know what? I have just recently come into scenarios where we are seeing more. You can see it in the video.
Okay.
They're they're using AI to improve and polish their sound.
Yeah.
But
So
that's where you have to have multifaceted hiring
yeah,
uh, tests,
yeah.
basically.
I don't see it as
Yeah.
much of an issue, I think, as other people do. But Corey said they've used that AI to help more. I think more for phone interactions than video. But
Hmm.
anyways, just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, Ryan, Boris here. There was a good question that popped in the chat, a curiosity around how you handle actually the payments to the remote staff, right? Do you treat them as employees? Are they contractors? Do they invoice you and you just remit payment? And you walk the team through how you've kind of handled the logistics around the compensation for the VAs?
Sure. Compensation, they are contractors, so they invoice us, and that's how they are paid. So from a bookkeeping perspective, it's very simple and straightforward. We use a combination of Wise payments and Payoneer. So those two facilitate all of our transactions. There's other options out there that we have looked at. A friend of mine who I introduced to this whole world, he introduced me to Wise, and he's like, "Hey, you're paying way too much in credit card fees and the conversion, so you should check out Wise." We've found Wise to be pretty cumbersome. They are hyper security to the point where it's become almost a burden, like a problem for us to administer payments through them. Payoneer, we find to be very easy and straightforward to do. Again, this is all just a one password permission delegation setup, right? So Arlene, who's in Cebu City in the Philippines, she pays all of our contractors.
Uh,
So
there's a follow-up to that question
yeah,
from Tracy. How do you verify their time tracking?
I don't know. Why do you have them on your team if you don't trust them? So I am a firm believer and I do not track time. Do you have roles? Do you have deliverables and responsibilities for all your team members? If you had a team member in whatever city, I'm not trying to be harsh here. I'm just saying, like, I don't
Huh?
believe in it. Fundamentally, I think it's a flawed strategy. Um, you will figure out if they're working or not, right? Just like you have a team member locally, you will know if they're providing, if their output is satisfactory
Yeah.
through GSRs, um, through their output. And
Yeah.
then if they finish their work faster, great, go home. I mean, they're home, but like do something else. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't believe in the whole like time track, screen monitor, how many clicks, all that stuff. I think that when you start doing that, your people will start to question why you're doing it, and it then becomes a trust issue. So then, oh, he doesn't trust me, and then foundations start to crack, right?
Yeah, Tracy, I think it's all just like you do your own employees, you third-party vendors, virtual assistants is having clear deliverables and accountabilities. And as Ryan says, you're measuring the output on things and activity,
Yeah.
right? So I would say there's got to be a clear agreement when you get into a relationship with a VA, much like you'd have with any other sort of contractor, right? But really good question.
And also think of it this way. Are you So if you're paying like 60% less than you would locally for some role, if they don't spend 8 full hours working really hard, is that a problem? And you're kidding yourself if you think your local staff are 100% productive. They're just not. whether they're in office or not. They're just not. We all like to think we're not even 100% productive.
I know Coach Lee is. That
I mean,
guy's
he's pretty
110%.
incredible.
Yeah.
You know, one of
And
the things that I personally did in 2024 that was probably my greatest productivity hack of all time is my phone is completely bricked. Like it's on do not disturb. I don't get any badges. I don't get notifications. I don't get anything. The only person that gets through me is my wife. That's it. And my assistant. But it's like you only come when this is like a fire emergency, like a big fire.
any other
So I don't
questions?
have a
Oh,
lot
sorry,
of
Ryan.
things. Sorry. I was just gonna say, like, when I'm here with you guys right now, I'm totally on you. Like, I don't have any distractions.
Yeah, so good. It's a good lesson in there. Any other questions for Ryan? Thoughts on this? How many people are currently using a VA? Right, just a show of hands here, besides Ryan. Okay, so this is fairly new. Cameron, you had a question, you had your hand up there.
Yeah, sorry,
Hey,
it's not.
Come on
Cameron.
in.
Hey, Ryan, good to see you,
Good to
man.
see
You
you,
did a
buddy.
great job. It was awesome.
Thanks.
I have a question on priority time management because you sparked my interest with bricking your phone. So when you're using Slack and some of those engagement platforms that are like instant or people are requiring or expecting that, are you blocking time specifically for Slack and only checking
Yeah.
it like a couple times a day, or how do you manage that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I gave a coaching session to one of my team members, in January, because I sent her a message. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and I was working, and she was still working, but she was supposed to be working on something else. And I messaged in a channel about some payment thing, and she replied right away. I'm like, what? No, like there's no urgency here. You shouldn't be answering me. You should be focused on what your task is at this time, right? And so I've been trying to coach and train our people that our phones are our valuable tool, right? And communication is really important. But we all, I think, are very guilty of, ooh, ooh, it's like that dopamine hit, right? Oh, what's going on? And that's why I've taken all the badges off of my phone so that I don't even see. Slack's the only one that really bugs me. I can't do it. They like literally functionally will not let you on your phone. And if anyone's figured that out, let me know because I cannot. Um, I want to be blocking my time to be present in the things. I I have ADHD. I take meds. I have a counselor. Like I do all the things that I need to do to avoid me being distracted. My office is very simple. My what I wear every day is very simple. It's like literally the same thing, right? Because I have to, if I don't, I get so distracted so quickly. And then I hyper focus on something for like an hour. I'm like, where the hell? What the heck? What happened there?
Awesome. Thanks, man.
So block that schedule and also just teach your team, train your team to not let you like you have to coach people, right? If you respond to people via text message right away, they know that that's going to happen again or they expect it. Same with Slack. If you answer every message right away, then people expect that you're going to do that all the time. And then I think the other part of it too, and I'm not sure who has listened to Dan Martell, he talks a lot about like the 1-3-1, which is what's the problem, what's the challenge you're dealing with, what are the three options to address that, and then what's the recommendation. Teach your team that because far too often you guys are coming as the problem solvers to everyone else's problems, right? When really you shouldn't be. And so if you push back on them to solve their own problems, people have less and less things that they come to you for, which frees your time to do the things that you have the highest value in the company.
Yeah, there's some good lessons in there. Thanks, Ryan. Really appreciate it. Just we're at the top of the hour now, so I want to move this along. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. It's always good
Yeah,
to
you're welcome.
get other members' perspectives in there. So it's a bit of a takeaway. I will reach out to Ryan. I'm going to get the process that he laid out so I can send out the process. As Coach Matt said, we also had another presentation on this from another perspective. So it was another member named Corey Brewer. And Corey is actually helping some of our membership find VAs. So this is another avenue that you may want to take a look at if this is something that interests you in your business and want to explore it a little bit further. So in a couple of days, I'll follow this up with the email with all the tools, the recording. I also send the one from Corey because I think if this is something that you're thinking of and going down, diving into, there's some good resources here to help you guys support it. So hopefully you guys found
Corey
this
and I have
valuable.
bounced a lot of
Yeah.
stuff back and forth to each other. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. But thank you, Ryan, so much. And
Thank you.
Coach Matt, if you're ready, why don't you send us over? Maybe bring us back at about 25 minutes we'll have for the breakout groups.
Yeah, you got it. Here we go.
Thank you, everybody.